everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassia. I'm a cinnamon roll VTuber, and today we're going to be watching the entire FNAF timeline by Fuhnuff. Okay, so as for my experience with FNAF, now I have a lot of interesting experiences. Obviously I know what FNAF is, but I've never played one of the games. My knowledge of FNAF is there's a bear named Freddy Fazbear, and I've seen gameplay of the first game. I think it was either like Markiplier or PewDiePie playing, but then it was like where you open the doors on the sides and look at the screens, and then I thought that was really anxiety inducing. So of course I decided I was never gonna play it. And I only know about like that game. And then I've seen the first live action movie with PETA from Hunger Games. What's his name? That guy. And what else? Oh, and I know there's har har har, and that's why I put it in my Twitch bio. And I don't know if that's what Freddy says, but yeah, that's what I hear a lot. What else? Oh, I know a lot of people simp over Chica. Or is that a meme? I don't know. I think people simp over Chica, which is like the bird one. Five Nights at Freddy's. I know, I don't know what the other games are. You spend 5 nights at Freddy's and you win. Yup. Like Slenderman collecting the pages, but at 5 Nights at Freddy's, it's the nights, right? That's the way to win. Again.
Get ready for a surprise!
She can dance. She can sing.
All back, all of them, together in one place.
All right.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a franchise with over a decade's worth of content, spanning countless games, books, and now a movie. There's a reason that no matter whose timeline you watch, they all look different. Making a FNAF timeline is not easy. There are so many ways you can interpret this story, and this is mine.
Hey, yo, Chica,
so let's start at the beginning.
Not the 70s.
Back in the 70s, a company called Fazbear Entertainment got its start by creating different props and mascot costumes for carnivals, and specifically for something called the Fall Fest. The Fall Fest featured various mascot characters, such as a bird, an elephant, and the most popular of all, Fredbear and Bonnie. These specific mascot costumes were so popular, Fazbear Entertainment opened a dedicated restaurant for them called Fredbear's Family Diner.
This ain't it. I do not like this.
Featuring the same Fredbear and Bonnie mascot costumes from the Fall Fest. What Fazbear Entertainment didn't account for, though, was one of their animatronics from the Fall Fest going rogue.
Freddy? Oh. You're not Freddy.
In a giant fire, with most of everything from the Fall Fest being destroyed.
Oh. Most everything. I feel like I'm watching those late night murder shows that like come on at 1 in the morning, like Cold Case. This is the intro. I don't like how that bunny was looking at us. Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm saying. I don't know about that character design. I think they really upped it with Freddy Fazbear.
The specifics about the animatronic that went rogue and the fire are unknown and will likely be revealed next year in FNAF's next big release.
Wait, although we don't know unknown? Wait, was this game released? I feel like I saw this name around, but I don't know if it was released or not. Secret of the Mimic. Wow, so it's still coming out. That's crazy. This series is so old already.
Although we don't know much about how this fire occurred, we do know that after the fire, Fazbear Entertainment...
I don't like how this bunny looks at me. Look at it. Look at it. Why did this guy, his like skin's peeling off. This guy, his skin's like little suffer, and this guy's just like, I'm squeaky clean. Yeah, no thank you.
Started phasing out of the mascot costume era. They needed something new. The two men who helped found Fazbear Entertainment, William Afton and Henry Emily, stepped up to the plate. William Afton was mostly the businessman of...
No, I love how... Sorry,
William Afton and Henry Emily...
I like how this guy gets like a fully fleshed character design, like drawing, beautiful, his outfit, hair, like facial expression. He gets the purple people eater, pixel art, purple people eater, cookie monster looking homie. Like, what is this? This guy versus this guy. Can't you see they're related? Look how similar they look.
Stepped up to the plate.
Oh, wait, they're not related. Sorry, they're co-partners. All I'm saying is if I was this man,
Entertainment, William Afton and Henry Emily.
if I was Henry Emily, if I saw him come into a business meeting, I'd be like, no, thank you. I do not want to partner with you. Yeah, it is the purple monster from McDonald's. Like, why would you work with the purple monster from McDonald's? You know,
Stepped up to the plate. William Afton was mostly the businessman of the two, handling all of the money, while Henry—
The purple people eater was a businessman? I'm sorry. You would give him all the money? Okay, we're gonna continue. I guess better a businessman than, I'm guessing he's gonna be the engineer. Okay,
was the more creative one, with him being in charge of building most of the animatronics and props for the company. With the Fall Fest era of the company coming to a close, they were only left with Fredbear's Family Diner, the standalone restaurant created for the Fredbear and Bonnie characters. In order to replace the mascot versions of Fredbear and Bonnie, Henry went to work on new versions of the characters, eventually creating the new Fredbear and Spring.
What made you think this was an improvement? Like, look, okay, wait, that bunny's pretty terrifying. But look at it now. Is this really an improvement? I can't say it is. I don't know. I don't know if this is an improvement or not. I don't know. They both look creepy.
Versions of the characters, eventually creating the new Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. The same characters, but with new designs and new suits. Henry called them Springlock suits. These suits are able to double as both an animatronic and a suit that the employees could wear. To switch the suit from animatronic mode to suit mode, the employees could use a hand crank to pull back the animatronic parts, leaving room for them to climb inside. The Springlocks that were helping to hold back those animatronic parts were very sensitive though, and with even a little bit of moisture, the spring locks could potentially snap shut, crushing and killing whoever was inside. But if that ended up happening, Fazbear Entertainment had some common sense procedures set in place.
I don't know. So obviously this is the game, right? Obviously this is not real life. But all I'm saying is if this was real life, we got this super smart guy making these super high tech, especially for, wait, it's not the 70s anymore. It's a little later, I'm guessing. Whatever. Back then, let's say pre-2000, making all this advanced tech, right? Super cool. You know, they can move, they can dance, and you're telling me it will still break with you inside it? Like, come on. Come on. Come on. I mean, okay, fair, but like, come on.
Place.
In the case that the spring locks come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out. That does not ruin the customer experience.
Yeah, you're so right.
Family Diner ended up being super successful for William and Henry, so much so that other companies tried replicating it. Another company proceeded to rip off Fazbear Entertainment's—
Okay, but wait, this company's mascots look cuter. I don't know, I think this company did a great job ripping them off. They probably just made it, maybe it's safer. Maybe their suits are just safer. And then therefore, is it a rip-off? Because it can't be like Timu Freddy if it's built better.
Old mascot characters by creating their own animatronic versions of them. The leader of the group was Ned Bear, a direct copy of Fredbear, followed by a hippo, an elephant, and a frog. All characters from the Fall Fest, and all with slightly different designs to avoid copyright issues. But while the rival company was able to replicate the designs, they could not replicate Henry's state-of-the-art technology. Their robots were poorly made and had to have giant batteries with exposed wires on stage with them. Naturally,
dude, yeah, I mean, look at these. They have to have a battery. The other ones, with any sense of water, will snap shut and you'll die. You choose. Which one? Yeah, I like the one with the higher technology that will actually, with the touch of my sweat, is going to close on me and then I'm gonna die. Instead of just the corded animatronic. I'm just saying, like, if POV, I work there, I would choose the corded animatronic. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? It's my opinion.
the rival company failed and ended up being bought out by Fazbear Entertainment.
Okay, wait, okay, I have to say this real quick, and I know I'm talking a lot and this video is very long. It was bought out by Fazbear's Entertainment because they're like, man, the marketing worked. Everyone thinks they're low quality, even though we want these guys because we know that ours are actually a death trap and that these are actually safer. And so we're gonna buy it. Sorry, that's probably not true at all. That's just, anyway.
All of the success from Fredbear's Family Diner, William and Henry decided to branch out and create more characters for a new restaurant. In 1983, William and Henry opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, featuring Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. With the opening of Freddy
I kind of remember Foxy, except I thought it was a wolf. In my head, I named him Wolfie. He's the one that like peeks out or something, right? Yep, that's all I got. I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. With the opening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Fazbear Entertainment was experiencing success like they've never seen before. But with 2 restaurants now open at the same time, more success also meant more work for William and Henry. The duo were
I'm so sorry, but one is not like the others. One art, guys, is not like the others. Can you spot which one it is? Can you spot which one it is?
Wrapped up in work that they started neglecting their own families. William was the father of 3 kids, the eldest, Michael, the crying child, and Elizabeth. The crying child has yet to have a 100% confirmed name, so for this video, he will just be called the crying child. Meanwhile, Henry had 1 kid, a daughter named Charlie. The business partners spent most of their days working, so they both created different ways of taking care of their kids. Henry was the robotics genius, so he used his talents to create a new animatronic to watch Charlie for him. It was called the security puppet. This animatronic would sit by the door of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and make sure that Charlie wasn't able to leave the building. This made it so Charlie could play at the restaurant while Henry worked, without Henry having to worry about her leaving the building or getting kidnapped.
That's nice
the
of him, I
robot
guess.
was linked directly to a green bracelet that Charlie was wearing. If Charlie, wearing the green bracelet, tried leaving the building, the security puppet would spring into action. William, on the other hand, was the businessman of the company. He cared more about making money, but also saving money. Naturally, he decided to just force his eldest son, Michael, to babysit while he was at work. Michael was mostly in charge of babysitting the crying child. The crying child didn't have many friends, but he did have a close relationship with his plushies. These plushies were of characters from his favorite show, Fredbear and Friends, Fazbear Entertainment's newest cartoon, featuring Fredbear.
Dude, I feel so bad for these children. Imagine your dad owns this franchise and the only show you're allowed to watch is your dad's franchise, and the only plushies you're allowed to have is also your dad's franchise. I would be so sick. He's crying because he's like, please, no more. That's why I'm always crying, is because I have no variety in my life.
Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. The crying child's favorite character, though, was Fredbear. He especially loved his Fredbear plushie. Although he loved the plushie version of the characters, the animatronics would soon become a different story. One day, while visiting Fredbear's Family Diner, the crying child saw something that would scar him for the rest of his life. While wandering the restaurant, he walked by the employees only room, where an employee accidentally left the door open. Inside the room was his father, William Afton, helping another employee into a spring Bonnie suit. But through the eyes of the crying child, this looked like someone was literally being stuffed into an animatronic suit. The crying child was so young that he wasn't educated on how the mascot characters worked. So seeing a human be put inside of one terrified him. When a child experiences something traumatic, their brain naturally tries finding ways to deal with that trauma. The crying child's way of dealing with his trauma was by creating an imaginary friend. This imaginary friend took the form of the object he loved the most, his Fredbear plushie. His new imaginary friend Fredbear followed him wherever he went, shape-shifting into flowers, hiding behind cars, and in the sewers, with nobody being able to see him except for the crying child. When the crying child was overwhelmed, the plushie would talk to him and try to calm him down. Even when the plushie wasn't around, it was still able to speak to him because it lived in his mind. While the crying child was dealing with the trauma of seeing what he thinks was someone being stuffed into a suit, his brother Michael was only making it worse. Michael knew about what happened with his younger brother and used it against him. Every day while babysitting the crying child, Michael would put on a Foxy mask, hide somewhere in the house, and jump scare his little brother.
Bro, it's it's, you know, it kind of makes sense. A child goes through a traumatic thing and your older sibling bullies you. Not that I would have any experience with that. A lot of plushies. Unfortunately, I did not get the benefit of having an imaginary friend. Although I tried very, very hard to believe it into existence, it didn't work. Like, I was like, I want an imaginary friend too. That'd be great. And I tried to believe, but then, like, he never showed up, you know? And I wasn't sure how all these people got imaginary friends, like, even though I tried so hard to have one. And I think that's, like, the whole problem. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it reminds me of my brother. Ah, reminds me of my brother. Ah, good times. Good times. All right. Let me rewind a little bit.
Jump scare his little brother.
Don't jump scare me. Do it. Hello? Why is the TV on? Who did that? Not your door. Lock it. There's no locks on that door. Dude, get some wallpaper. Why is that Freddy's eyes glowing?
From the pizzeria to your living room.
Dad, you turned on your show again.
Sing and dance with Fredbear and Friends. Weeknights at 7 Central. Only on.
Run. Run. I always used to run back to my room and then hop on my bed because I was scared of gremlins hiding under my bed that were gonna eat me alive. Whoa, I didn't know clocks could glow in the 80s. What? Get in bed. Chink. No, no. Absolutely not. Bruh.
Through all of Michael's bullying, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear would comfort him and talk him through the situation.
I would
saying,
be so traumatized.
You know he is hiding again. Be careful. Tomorrow is another day. Michael wasn't the only one
Yeah, the eyes are glowing. It's imaginary friend. Yeah, when I saw it again on top of the clock, I figured out that it was the imaginary friend. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, it's just sitting there. But then I remember the lore about it, like, moving with the crying child. Like, he saw it everywhere just because it's an imaginary friend. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Bullying the crying child.
Let me
Be
go back a
careful.
little bit.
Tomorrow is another day. Michael wasn't the only one bullying the crying child, though. The local kids in the neighborhood heard about why the crying child was so scared of the pizzeria, even making up fake rumors related to what the crying child thought he saw there. You'd better watch out. I hear they come to life at night. And if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone. But all of this bullying would come to a head on one special day. The crying child's birthday. Ironically, his birthday party was being held at Fredbear's family diner. Because he was—
Of course, his dad doesn't want to spend money going anywhere else, and he still needs to work. So he's like, you're going to have the birthday at Freddy's, okay? And you're going to get more Freddy merch as your gifts because it's free.
so terrified of being at the pizzeria, he hid under the table, not knowing that Michael and his friends were nearby, planning a prank that would go terribly wrong.
Oh no. Hide crying child. Name the crying child Cassia.
Pizza, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie will be performing in 5 minutes.
No. 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 I hate them.
Fredbear and Spring Bonnie will be performing in 5 minutes.
Those suits would just look like the scarier versions of your plushies. Hello? Michael? Bruh, no.
Michael and his friends lifted the crying child up to, quote, give Fredbear a big kiss, and Fredbear bit down on him, leaving his body to go limp.
There's no way. They killed my boy off? I was getting attached to the crying child. Is this why he doesn't have a name? Oh no. Well, I feel so bad. I have like slight tears in my eyes because I feel so bad. Oh my god. It's the transition of like, I think the 3D really sells it, and then it changes to the pixel art. That goes so hard. That goes so hard. Stop. Got chills. Okay, I gotta go back. That's so good. I mean, it's horrible, but it's done so well, and it's so scary. So like, that's the thing that's like, oh my god, that's so good. Like, this is so frightening. It like makes your heart jump. Oh my god.
Michael and his friends lifted the crying child up to, quote, give Fredbear a big kiss.
I think even if you bully your younger sibling, and of course, I don't think that's their intention. And if something were to happen, now Michael is going to be super traumatized. Yeah. The 3D animations are custom for this video. Oh, really? Okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad that I watched this then, because I really like that. The editing is so good.
And Fredbear bit down on him, leaving his body to go limp. Michael and his friends quickly stopped laughing. Because of Michael's immature behavior, his terrified younger brother paid the ultimate price. Although the crying child was badly hurt, he didn't immediately die.
No.
Because of the immense brain damage, he slipped into a coma. After being treated at a hospital, the crying child was taken home so he could be comfortable, surrounded by his only friends, his plushies. In the crying child's final moments, Michael decides to apologize for what he's done, saying, "Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry." After Michael speaks, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear, created out of the trauma he experienced, continues doing what it's done the whole time. It comforts him, saying, "You're broken. We are still your friends. Do you still believe that? I'm still here. I will put you back together." This would be the final thing the crying child hears before he dies. The crying child's spirit would then live on in the Fredbear suit, the thing.
Okay, interesting. I think, like, probably not all of you. If you come from YouTube, depending on what videos you watched of mine, or Twitch, depending on how long you've known me, you'll know I'm an emotionally intact person. Like, I'm someone who's very emotional, right? And so I do feel sad for the crying child. But I don't want to cry. Okay, stop, Cassia. Pull yourself together. I think it means a lot that the older brother apologized. That's it. Okay, I'm done. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. Okay, I'm done crying. I blew my nose. Anyway, no, I think just from my personal experience, I think that meant a lot. This isn't real. Okay, anyway, we're gonna continue. Yeah, no, and then he gets possessed, which is crazy because I don't think he liked the animatronics, especially that's how he died. He only liked a stuffed animal. So it's kind of unfortunate that he ended up living on in the animatronic, because for him, I don't feel like the animatronic was a positive thing, you know? Like, I feel like possessing the doll itself would have been better instead of the character, but you know, like, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm sorry for, like, if you could count how many times I've cried in YouTube videos, it's too many. It's one too many, because, so my friend, she came over, and she's like, "Oh, I saw you've been doing YouTube, and all I know is that you cry a lot." I was like, "Bruh, do I really cry that much? Oh my god. I need to stop crying so much. Oh my god." Anyway, and then that was her reaction. I'm like, bruh, the fact your first reaction to my YouTube is that I cry too much is crazy. Yeah. I do. I easily display emotions with tears.
The crying child's spirit would then live on in the Fredbear suit, the thing that took his life. The crying child's death wasn't just an accident, it was directly caused by Michael's recklessness. This is something that Michael could potentially face jail time for, so it needed to be covered up. Since the crying child was being kept at home, no one else knew that he ended up passing away. So William and Michael ended up burying the crying child's body in the middle of the woods where no one would find him. No tombstone, no flowers.
Ain't no way the dad is just, what? He really cares about his business not closing because, yes, Michael's still a child. I don't think he would get charged with jail time. Like, it would be horrible. And it's still accidental, but he wouldn't be charged because he's a child. I mean, not at least jail. Like, maybe he has some sort of record, but it wouldn't be jail. And so... but like the business would for sure suffer and it would have to close. And so, yeah. And I guess that's crazy. And then I imagine your dad's like, yo, we're gonna go bury him now. Michael, I feel like, you know, you have to listen to your dad, but you're probably still traumatized and you probably feel so bad. So now he feels scared, bad, because not even his dad will like say it's okay. His dad's like, no, we're gonna cover it up. The fox hand is missing because the older brother used it as a mask. Ah, okay. That makes sense. I thought the mask was like, you know, you can buy masks at like Freddy's place. So you can buy of each animatronic and just like put it on. Yeah.
Just a pile of dirt, an unmarked grave, and a lifetime's worth of guilt that Michael would have to live with.
That's what I'm saying.
Shortly after the incident, Fredbear's family diner was quickly shut down, and Fredbear was completely wiped from existence.
Dude, if you're gonna close a business anyway, then you should say that your son is dead and give him a proper burial. What the frig?
and Friends TV show turned into Freddy and Friends on tour. The Fredbear and Spring Bonnie Springlock suits also ended up being moved into the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, mainly being used as spare suits if one of the Freddy's animatronics broke down. The death of William Afton's youngest son was a pivotal moment in this story, specifically William Afton's story. This was the first domino to fall. A father losing his son is a traumatic situation, and while any other father would take time to grieve, be sad, and properly deal with such a big loss, William Afton took a different route. Afton definitely was upset about his son dying, but it wasn't because he felt bad for his son, it was because it was embarrassing to him. William Afton was a narcissist. He had little to no empathy. All he cared about was work and comparing himself to his business partner, Henry. Henry had a wife, a kid, and a talent for robotics that Afton was utterly jealous of. The death of the crying child sent Afton over the edge, because while Henry's family was still perfect, his was now broken. Henry and William had different ways of taking care of.
Let's just kill his kid too, and then we'll be even. Yep. William is not a good man. Yeah. William is not a good man.
Was still perfect, his was now broken.
We should kill his son to make it even.
Different ways of taking care of their kids. And while Afton employing his eldest son failed, Henry's security puppet succeeded. Henry's daughter, Charlie, lived on. Afton had a hard time dealing with this feeling of embarrassment. He started becoming an alcoholic, frequently visiting the local bar called Junior's. One night, though, after drinking a little too much and getting kicked out of the bar, he decided that he was going to settle the score with Henry. Afton, drunk and filled with rage, drove from the bar to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where he knew Charlie was being watched over by Henry's security puppet. Afton planned on risking...
Is it during... Sorry, I'm a little confused. Is it during the night he left his kid here? Instead of home?
Out local bar with this.
I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Henry's daughter Charlie lived on. Afton had a hard time dealing with this feeling of embarrassment. He started becoming an alcoholic, frequently visiting the local bar called Junior's. One night, though, after drinking a little too much and getting kicked out of the bar, he decided that he was going to settle the score with Henry. Afton, drunk and filled with rage, drove from the bar to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where he knew Charlie was being watched over by Henry's security puppet.
I guess so they're open at night? I guess.
Afton planned on risking everything to kill Henry's daughter, Charlie. He didn't care if he got caught, and he didn't care if he went to prison. But when Afton got to Freddy's, he noticed that Charlie was standing outside by herself. It turned out that some bullies were able to trap the security puppet in its box and lock Charlie outside the building.
They both get bullied. We got William's son, the crying child, and Charlie getting bullied.
Giving Afton the perfect opportunity to kill Charlie outside of the pizzeria. The security puppet was eventually able to escape its box and went looking for Charlie.
Oh no.
As Afton sped away, the puppet noticed that Charlie was outside in the pouring rain. It then did what it was programmed to do and went to protect her.
Oh, but Charlie's already dead. Oh,
but as the puppet got closer to Charlie's body, the rain started making it short circuit. It was forced to crawl its way over to her until the rain got to be too much and the puppet shut down right next to Charlie's body. While Charlie and the puppet lay lifeless next to each other, Afton was speeding home, driving right past—
I wonder if they're gonna think it's the puppet that killed Charlie. Yeah,
where he buried his son and the bar he got kicked out of. When Afton got home, he was met with his wife sitting in the living room watching TV and Michael in his bedroom. Afton was a drunk and abusive father and fully blamed Michael for what happened to his youngest son. Mrs. Afton tells him to leave Michael alone because he's had a tough day, but Afton doesn't listen. He goes over to Michael's room and pounds on the door, only for the door to be locked. He then makes his way around the house to try and find a way in from the outside. But once he gets to Michael's bedroom window, he notices that it's broken, and Michael was gone. Michael was so upset by what he did to his brother that he would sometimes see visions of Fredbear appear and disappear. Tonight, Fredbear appeared outside his bedroom window, and it almost felt like his brother was calling out to him from beyond the grave. This would happen frequently, and every time it did, Michael would run to the spot where they buried his younger brother, only to find that nothing had changed. His younger brother was still gone and buried in the ground. Afton knew Michael did this often, saying, "Ran off to that place again. He will be sorry when he gets back." The guilt of killing his younger brother haunted Michael in his real life, but also in his dreams. Michael would constantly have nightmares about the animatronic that took his brother's life.
Literally
These were
haunted.
the exact same nightmares his younger brother used to have every night, now passed on to him.
Ooh. Dude, that hits hard. The 3D hits so hard. Whoa. Whoa. Dude, the 2 doors is crazy. Oh my god, the flashlight, just like the game. Shine, like turn on the light outside the door. Hello? No, that's so scary. Oh my god. No, don't open it. Close it. Hello? Chica, is that you? Grab your hand. Hello? No. That's so scary, bro.
After the death of Charlie, Fazbear Entertainment tried their best at covering it up. Fortunately for them and for William, the crime was committed outside, where no one was around to witness it. William was able to get away with everything.
Stop. Wait. So they have super quote-quote high-tech animatronics inside that both can move on their own and you can wear them, but they don't have enough tech to have security cameras outside. Am I correct in that assumption? So no one can see how she died. Okay. Okay, this should go out of business. You know, they deserve it. Is that why they're like, oh man, we need security cameras. Let's implement those and let's put them in the first game. Is that why?
While Fazbear Entertainment never spoke of the incident again. The security puppet was quickly moved to the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where the retired Fredbear and Spring Bonnie suits resided. But something was different about the security puppet. Dark tears now appeared on the mask of the animatronic. Dark tears that weren't there before. This is something that Afton quickly noticed the next day when he went into work. He'd heard about what happened moments after he sped off. He knew the security puppet was found laying next to Charlie's body. So does that mean Charlie's soul now resided in the puppet? William definitely—
How is that your first assumption? How is that? How is that your first assumption? Like, I would be like, how did those get there? I do know it was out in the rain. Maybe the rain caused some sort of paint defect. Maybe, you know, something. But the first thought I would have wouldn't be, yes, maybe the body, the soul of this child now inhabits this animatronic, and then therefore it changed the animatronic's outward appearance. That would not be my first theory. I'm just, yeah.
He noticed that the puppet looked different, almost like it was haunted, almost like it was thinking. Other employees would eventually notice the same thing.
I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
After realizing the security puppet may be possessed by the spirit of Charlie, Afton went back and looked at the crying child's Fredbear plushie, only to find that it also seemed to be haunted. The crying child feared for his life every single day, and that plushie was something he was able to cry and pour his agony into. Afton believed that this is what caused the plushie to appear haunted. It wasn't made alive by the spirit of his son, it was made alive by the agony and fear his son poured into it. Afton quickly became obsessed with the concept of haunted objects, and more specifically, the power of human emotion. He needed to find out if this is something he could take advantage of. Afton then used all of his money he made from Fredbear's and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to build a giant underground facility directly under his house. It was here that he would try to recreate what happened with his son, to recreate the fear and agony he experienced. In order to do this, Afton didn't take any chances. He needed to replicate exactly what his son went through every day. In order to do this, Afton built a replica of his house underground, along with his son's daily walk to Fredbear's family diner. He also built a makeshift bedroom where he could force kids to have the same nightmare every night. Afton would sit in his office watching them on the cameras that could be accessed using the passcode 1983, the year his son got bit. Bear plushie on the desk as a reminder of what he was trying to replicate. In the makeshift bedroom, there were dummy animatronics that wheeled down the hallway. But the kids wouldn't see them as just blank dummies on wheels. Afton would pump hallucinogenic gas into the room to get the kids to think that what they were seeing was a monster. These nightmare gas canisters were being stored all throughout his underground facility.
The kids?
And on the bed of this makeshift bedroom was a Freddy plushie, in the hopes that the kids would pour their fear and agony into the plush, like his son did to his plushie. On the other side of the bunker, where Afton recreated the crying child's walk to Fredbear's, he placed a bunch of Fredbear plushies all over the place. These Fredbear plushies had walkie-talkies inside of them. This was Afton's way of recreating his son's imaginary friend that would talk to him wherever he went. Afton would speak to the kids.
How did he, I guess maybe the son told his dad about his imaginary friend and how it's like everywhere he goes. Otherwise, how would he know? Right? It's his son's imaginary friend. He wouldn't know. I guess unless the son told him, which like kind of weird, but whatever.
His walkie-talkie sitting in his private office. After setting up the bunker, Afton was only missing one more thing: the kids to run these experiments on. He needed a way to kidnap and capture kids without being caught, and he had the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, kidnapping.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
Everyone, please stay
Enter Circus
in your
Baby
seats.
and the Funtime animatronics. These robots were specifically built by Afton to capture kids, featuring Circus Baby.
They were built by him with the other guy's help, because according to my knowledge, he's not an engineer. He's a money man. The other guy's the engineer. So did the other guy help him build these? You know? I don't know.
Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Ballora. They feature advanced technologies such as parental tracking,
more
voice
advanced
mimicking
technology,
luring, and storage tanks. Circus Baby, the star of the group, was even able to make ice cream as a way to lure kids to her. Once the kid got too close, a giant claw would reach out, grab them, and lock them in the animatronics storage tank. Some of the board members from Fazbear Entertainment were suspicious of these new animatronics.
She can dance. She can sing.
She can do everything.
Built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips.
Yes.
She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
Yeah, she's perfect.
With
she's a
all
perfect
due
woman.
respect,
10 out of 10.
Those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Afton even created a new restaurant for these animatronics called Circus Baby's Pizza World. Elizabeth, William Afton's daughter, was fascinated by Circus Baby.
Elizabeth. Okay, this is his third child. Okay, she looks like a charming little girl, yes.
All she wanted to do...
They have a British accent? But why? Why are they British? William, because his name is William. Like, okay.
Was play with her, but Afton wouldn't let her.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? You let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
He strictly told her to stay away from the animatronic, but one day, she didn't listen. On the opening day of Circus Baby's Pizza World, another domino would fall in Afton's life, and Elizabeth would soon be the victim of his terrible misdeeds.
Okay, but the question remains, why are they British? Is that explained, or are they just British? I don't know. Does this one look more or less trustworthy than the others? I couldn't tell you. It's a little shiny, I suppose. But maybe she just did her skincare. William name origins is Germanic, but his kids' names are from Hebrew. I mean, to be fair, like, in the US, no one really cares what the origin of the name is. They just freaking name your kid whatever. Sometimes it has Germanic, sometimes it's Irish, sometimes it's Swedish, sometimes it's English, you know? Like, people, I just feel like, yeah, that sounds good. That's gonna be my kid's name. They never, like, look at the origins. I mean, they will. They're like, oh, that sounds good. Let me see what it actually means. Okay, yeah, that checks out. Long.
Pizza World, another domino would fall in Afton's life, and Elizabeth would soon be the victim of his terrible misdeeds.
Eater.
I can do something special.
Ice cream?
Did you know that? I can make ice cream.
Oh, oui, oui.
Although I only did it once.
Oh.
What a wonderful day, though.
Yeah?
I was in a small room with balloons and a few tables. I would always count the children. I'm not sure why. They usually played together in groups of 2 or 3. There were 4, then 3, then 2.
I'm gonna turn you into ice cream.
Time to play.
No, that's so freaky. Stop. Oh my god, the 3D makes it so good. Time to play? Really? You're gonna be my friend? Dude, her kneecaps look like eyes. Hello, can I have ice cream? Oh god.
Ice cream.
Thank you. Hey, you dropped my... I'm now ice cream.
Something happened when there was one. I was no longer myself.
Oh.
There was screaming for a moment, but only for a moment.
In an instant, Elizabeth was grabbed by Circus Baby and thrown into her stomach hatch. The sheer force of her being grabbed and thrown into the robot's storage tank was enough to kill her almost instantly.
Oh, thank God.
This is something that William wasn't able to test. That was until his daughter became the test. William Afton now lost another one of his kids, but this time it was all his fault.
Good.
After just one day of being open, Circus Baby's Pizza World was shut down. Afton covered up the incident by telling the public that the restaurant shut down due to gas leaks. But not everyone.
Wow, anyone see a pattern? Someone suspiciously dies. It just so happens to be his kid. We're gonna cover it up and close the business. Yup. Nothing happens. Nothing happened. Yeah, that's unfortunate for the kid. I do feel for the kid. But also, like, he deserved it. Surely he's going to learn his lesson and change his ways, right, guys? Right, guys? Surely he's not going to do anything worse. He still has one kid left to sacrifice. I mean, save. To live for. To sacrifice.
Bought that story. The local newspaper wrote about the incident, saying, in other news, the grand opening of Circus Baby's Pizza World has apparently been canceled due to reported gas leaks in the building. Sources close to the establishment questioned the report, saying that strange activity around the area at night suggests something else is to blame. One local is quoted as saying, everything just stopped. There was so much excitement built around this place opening, and then they just stopped talking about it. A tenant from across the street claims to have witnessed a large group of cars surrounding the building during the night, and large pieces of equipment being taken out of the building under tarps. A few weeks later, the building was for sale. There is no comment yet from the local entrepreneur who financed the venture. That local entrepreneur, William Afton, successfully covered
The local entrepreneur that they put in like purple text is, yes, the purple people eater.
up everything. He was able to bring Circus Baby and the Funtime animatronics back down into his bunker. But once he got them there, he noticed something was different about Circus Baby.
Of course.
One distinct feature about Circus Baby was her blue eyes. But what once was blue eyes now were green, the same color as Elizabeth's. In that moment, he knew that his daughter's soul attached itself to the robot. Her soul lived on in Circus Baby. Afton knew that the way Charlie went on to possess the puppet was sloppy, and it was hard to recreate without getting caught. But what if the kids' bodies were hidden where no one would ever look? What if, just like his daughter, their bodies were stuffed into the animatronics? For Afton, Elizabeth's death quickly went from just another inconvenience to a scientific breakthrough. Afton was one step closer to harnessing the power of life itself. But one successful experiment wasn't enough. Just like the fear experiments he built in the bunker, he needed to replicate exactly what happened. He needed to recreate the accident. And he knew exactly how he was going.
I like how he's like, oh no, my daughter died. Wait, this is a scientific breakthrough. Yes. Let's kill more children. Oh, William. Wait, no, not William. Oh, Michael. Come over here.
To do it. Using the Funtime animatronics again wasn't an option. Circus Baby's Pizza World was shut down, and the public was already getting too suspicious of the animatronics. But he didn't need the Funtime animatronics. He was going to run the experiment himself. On June 26, 1985, William Afton...
Wait, 1985. So 1983 was a bite, so it's been 2 years now. Okay.
Made his way to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There, he would put on the old Spring Bonnie suit from Fredbear's to lure 5 kids into the back room.
Not into the back rooms. Oh. Street Fighter. Oh, this isn't Street Fighter. I think he's right behind you.
Hello.
Hello? Purple people eater?
Looking for a friend?
The water's clear, come swim with me.
This place looks dirty, bruh. Oh. Want some candy? Want some candy? I got a new one. Got a new one for ya.
One by one, Afton killed them and stuffed their bodies into the animatronics. Susie was first, being stuffed into Chica. Gabriel went into Freddy, Jeremy into Bonnie, Fritz into Foxy.
Okay, so if people simp over Chica, isn't she possessed by a child? Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna continue. Yeah. Yep.
Then there was Chica. Gabriel went into Freddy, Jeremy into Bonnie, Fritz into Foxy, and then there was Cassidy, who went into Fredbear.
That's a little too close to Cassia. What do you mean? Cassidy. That's a little too close. Oh, don't stuff me in Freddy, no! Anyway, poor Cassidy. Poor me.
AKA Golden Freddy. At this point, Afton had
but she
no
gets to be
idea
golden?
that the crying child...
Wait, she gets to be the cool golden one? She's like the shiny? That's cool. And we're gonna rewind a little bit because I was talking over it, but oh my god, that's cool. If you're gonna be, listen, if I'm gonna be killed and stuffed into any animatronic, I want it to be the most popular, most rare, coolest one that's the leader. Yup.
AKA Golden Freddy. At this point, Afton had no idea that the crying child's spirit was in Golden Freddy, so he didn't think twice about shoving
And I was about to say, I'm seeing chat now that Cassidy was a boy, and I was about to be like, wow, it's nice finally that they put a girl inside a boy suit because they keep like coincidentally matching the girls with the girl animatronics and the boys with the boy animatronics. And I'm like, wow, it's so nice to have a girl like finally that like shows that they don't care. They're just stuffing them. Nope. Now you guys say it's a boy. So that ruins everything for me. Ah, okay. Okay. I thought the kid was a little girl, but canonically is a boy.
Idea that the crying child spirit was in Golden Freddy, so he didn't think twice about shoving Cassidy in there. The way Afton killed Cassidy, though, was different from the rest. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just regular animatronics. Afton had no choice but to kill them, then stuff them into the suits. But Golden Freddy wasn't just a regular animatronic, it was a Springlock suit. The same Springlock suit that took his youngest son's life. Afton was aware of how dangerous the Springlocks were. Any bit of moisture or too much movement would cause them to snap shut, slowly killing whoever was inside. So that's exactly what he did to Cassidy. He put him into the suit and watched as the Springlocks snapped shut, cementing Cassidy's death as the most brutal of them all. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy weren't the only
just kill me and place me. Well, then I guess the blood would get everywhere, and then they would snap on like the hands putting the body into the suit. So the only way to put a body in the suit is have the suit kill the person. Okay, yeah, that checks out.
Animatronics sitting in the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, though. They were joined by the security puppet, which contained the soul of Henry's daughter, Charlie. Once Afton was gone, Charlie jumped into action, almost acting as a guide for their souls, properly giving them life inside of each animatronic. After the incident, the kids were quickly reported missing by their families. And although the security cameras caught Afton luring the kids away, he wasn't able to fully—
Okay, so now we have security cameras. We didn't when the girl was brutally murdered outside Freddy's. The new building has security cameras. Okay.
Get in trouble. Since he was wearing the Spring Bonnie suit, they were never able to prove it was actually him. Afton also hid the kids' bodies where no one would ever look, so the bodies were never found. Unbelievably, Afton was able to get away with yet another crime. Because of all the bad press that came from the missing children.
Here's the question that I have. Why do they keep calling him by his last name instead of his first name? Like, that's so interesting to me. Why not William? Or Mr. Afton. Why don't they just like call him William? Why are they calling him by his last name? The polite form. Like, to call him Will. Like, we'll call him Will. Like, I just have a, that's a good question. I don't know. That's my question. I prefer William. Too respectable for him.
And people stopped coming to the pizzeria. After months of customers no longer showing up, Fazbear Entertainment officially shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Shortly after the pizzeria shut down, Afton decided to pull the Funtime animatronics out of retirement and finally get his underground facility fully operational. He knew he couldn't try opening another Circus Babies restaurant, so he had a new idea.
Due to the massive success and even more so the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment. Unlike most entertainment venues, our robotic entertainers are rented out for private parties during the day.
Afton opened Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental.
Dude,
this way,
man never learns. Open another business. Just keep opening them, closing them. Yup. If the first one closed, would you really want to go to this one? I guess you'd be like, oh, maybe this is what he was doing. He was trying to add more characters. Yeah. No, it's not that it's an issue for me, the name. It's just a curiosity. Like, it's something I just noticed. Yeah.
he could rent out the Funtime animatronics to local birthday parties, capture kids, and bring them back to his underground bunker to be experimented on. While Afton was running his rental business, Fazbear Entertainment was determined to try opening another pizzeria. In the summer of 1987, Fazbear Entertainment opened the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, this time with brand new versions of their original characters. These were called the Toy Animatronics, and they were once again—
Whoa! This chica is crazy. I guess, so this chica is not possessed by the kid yet. So is this the one everyone loves? This chica? Look, there's a cupcake. Cupcake's kind of cute. Bonnie has cute eyes. I don't know, these ones are definitely cuter. Yeah. I see now why. The other one was not very cute. These ones are all pretty cute.
And built by Henry. Henry was aware of what happened in...
Okay, wait. Okay, I know it's about to explain it, but I'm just saying, what do you mean he's still involved? Henry's still involved? He's still helping build him? Obviously, whatever. Okay, you know what? Okay. I'm gonna let the video explain.
Toy animatronics, and they were once again built by Henry. Henry was aware of what happened in 1985, and especially of what happened to his daughter, so he was determined to make sure that never happened again. These new toy animatronics were equipped with facial recognition systems that were linked directly to a criminal database. The security puppet was also brought out of retirement, but
Okay, now I'm pausing because I just want to clarify the clown girl that like took his daughter and like that line, those were built by William Afton or they were built by his partner, because now it seems his partner knew about it. So was his partner helping him do those things? No. So what we're saying is William still knows robotics, but he still needed his partner's help to build this newest line? Question mark? Is that correct information? Yeah, I know it's his partner, but like, I want to make sure. So the first line was built by Henry. And then William kind of went rogue and he learned robotics in just like 1 year, enough to build a new line. And then he's like, nah. And then he knew that he's been like doing these suspicious stuff. And he's like, yeah, let me help you create new ones that are safer. That line is fun time. They were presumably built by William alone, and toy ones are built by Henry alone. Okay. All right, so he learned robotics in like a year, 2 max. Okay, William.
It sat quietly
let me go back a little bit.
Also brought systems that were linked directly to a criminal database. The security puppet was also brought out of retirement, but instead of working security, it sat quietly in the prize corner. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Spring Bonnie were also moved to the new pizzeria, and it's revealed that these animatronics were mostly used for spare parts.
Okay. Now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location.
Who's the guy telling him all this, like this voice?
The idea at first was to repair them, but
if they're gonna tell me later, then don't spoil.
This means that the haunted metal of the original Freddy's animatronics was now being put into the toy animatronics, causing the toys to also now be possessed. After Afton got away with the first set of murders, he needed to see
so the Chica is still possessed by a little girl. Man, god dang it. Okay.
Were possessing the animatronics. In order to see for himself, Afton went back to work at the new pizzeria as a daytime security guard. While Afton was working the day shift, Jeremy Fitzgerald was working the night shift. Jeremy guard. While Afton was
okay. So he's the day guard. Okay, so I was like, oh my god, is he the night guard? But no, that's someone else named Jeremy, okay.
Working the day shift, Jeremy Fitzgerald was working the night shift.
Okay.
Jeremy worked there for 5 nights, and unfortunately for him, because the kids possessing the animatronics were killed by an adult, they were extremely aggressive to any adult they encountered.
They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare.
Meanwhile, Afton decided to pull the same trick he did at the old Freddy's location, gaining 5 more victims.
Oh my god.
The suit. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it.
Afton used the Spring Bonnie suit to pull the same stunt again on 5 more kids. But as he was committing the murders, Charlie from inside the puppet was actively trying to save the kids. She tried enlisting the help of the other animatronic.
Charlie from inside the puppet was trying to actively save the kids? Is that what it said? So, but she's dead, right? Like she died a slow, painful death. Charlie. Charlie from inside the puppet. Oh, the security puppet.
On 5 more kids. But as he was committing the murders, Charlie from inside the puppet was actively trying to save the kids. She tried enlisting the help of the other animatronics, but it was too late. Afton had already finished what he started. Not only that, him seeing the puppet and Freddy walking around the pizzeria trying to stop him was all the proof he needed that his experiments were successful. The kids he put into the original suits were haunting the animatronics. But there was one problem. Afton knew that the haunted metal of the endoskeletons was the key to everything, but the animatronics were trapped at the pizzeria. There was no way he could bring them back to his underground bunker. He couldn't get to the animatronics if the pizzeria was still open and active. So he needed to find a way to make sure the pizzeria shuts down.
Another gas leak! We gotta close this one down too!
And fast. Instead of stuffing the new set of victims into the toy animatronics, he decided to leave the kids out in plain sight, scattered throughout the pizzeria. This was a guaranteed way to get the pizzeria shut down. A few hours after Afton committed the murders, Jeremy Fitzgerald showed up for his night shift, unaware of what happened that day.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying to leave in the middle of the night. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay?
The next day, during Jeremy's day shift, one of the animatronics bit him in the head. This was infamously known as the bite of 87.
Oh, this is the bite of 87? Just like an animatronic biting a security guy's head? I feel like the other one was more meaningful. But this is the one you hear about.
Meanwhile, Afton successfully got the pizzeria shut down. The local newspaper wrote about the incident, saying, after being open only a few short weeks, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is closing its doors. The new animatronics will be scrapped due to possible malfunctions. However, the original characters are being kept in hopes of a possible reorganization of the company. Since the toy animatronics were now being scrapped, he knew he could get away with taking their endoskeletons. But he also knew that he couldn't risk showing his face at the pizzeria again, so he got his oldest son Michael to do the work for him. William was
Poor Michael, bro. Poor Michael, bro. Oh my god, no.
Easily able to get Michael to do whatever he wanted. William was abusive and manipulative, while Michael was haunted by the guilt of what he did to his younger brother. Because of this, Michael basically acted as William's puppet. Michael showed up for the night shift at the now closed Freddy Fazbear's Pizza under a code name, Fritz Smith. At the end of his shift, he would successfully steal the toy animatronics endoskeletons for his father, causing him to get fired his first day on the job due to tampering with the animatronics. As it said in the local newspaper, while Fazbear Entertainment scrapped the toy animatronics, the original
I'm just not looking at that. Is that 20 bucks? You get a whole 20 bucks for a night shift? Is this a paycheck? Oh my god.
Chica and Foxy were going to be fixed up and reused, and that's exactly what they did. After the 1987 Freddy's location shut down, they opened—
Wait, sorry, just a quick prediction. I have a feeling Michael is somehow gonna die. It's gonna be related with Foxy because he wore the Foxy mask. That's literally the only prediction, but I feel like that's kind of obvious. So we'll see. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
The original Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were going to be fixed up and reused, and that's exactly what they did. After the 1987 Freddy's location shut down, they opened yet another location, this time using the exact same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As you can imagine, this didn't work out great for the business. People already had a bad impression of Fazbear Entertainment, so using the same building that the original murders took place in didn't help business. Customers barely showed up to the new pizzeria, leading it to shut down by the end of 1993. Although this was bad news for Fazbear Entertainment, this was great news for William Afton. Afton was able to acquire the endos of the toy animatronics, but that wasn't enough. He needed all of the haunted endoskeletons, especially—
Like, why does he need these haunted things? Like, what is his end goal? Just like, I want to have an army of haunted animatronics? That's so cool. It's for the love of the game. Like, he has no goal for them, like, to do something. He just wants them around in his house. Like, what a freak.
the ones in the original animatronics. Once the pizzeria shut down, Afton came up with a plan to steal the endos from the animatronics. Each pizzeria was designed with something called a safe room.
As always, if there is ever an emergency, please go to the designated safe room. As always, if there is ever an emergency, please go to the designated safe room. Every location is built with one extra room that is not included in the digital map layouts programmed into the animatronics or security system. This room is hidden to customers, invisible to animatronics, and is always off camera.
This room was hidden from guests and invisible to the animatronics. Afton would use this to his advantage, luring each of the animatronics to the safe room and dismantling them one by one. The kids possessing these animatronics were the same kids he lured into the back room all those years ago. He planned to use the same trick to lure the same kids all over again.
It's a cupcake. I don't like that cupcake. Oh. Bunny does not look happy. The bunny. Oh. Hey, look at that walk. Yeah. Sorry, out of order. Where does legs go? Oh my god, is that the Freddy? Let's go follow him. Oh. Oh, their suits. Oh. Oh god, look at the skins of my brethren. Uh-oh. Thanks, Foxy. Where does Eye Patch go? He has another eye? Oh, it's flipped up. Uh-oh. Purple People Eater got you.
Once he finished dismantling each animatronic and stealing their endoskeleton, he brought them down to his underground bunker, where he would melt them all down into one liquid substance called Remnant. Not only did Afton rob these kids of their lives, he would use their souls long after they're gone for his own personal gain.
Bruh, melting them all together is crazy, making us superhuman or something. I can join the Avengers. What if this remnant joined the Avengers, guys? Pro or con? Aww. That poor kid, bro. Hey, don't just throw him like that. Bruh. Crazy. Crazy work. He's like, bruh. Bruh. I'm next. They can't move without the fursuit on? Guess they're dismantled. Maybe there's an off switch. A conveniently placed off switch. Burning. We burning. Me and Peak. Me when I play Peak. I think the 3D adds a lot though. I do like that about this one. I know you guys said that was unique to this one.
By melting down the endos, he successfully created Remnant. This substance, containing the spirits of all of the missing children, was silver in color, and if kept at the right temperature, was malleable. Afton didn't want to risk testing the Remnant on himself, so he injected it into the Funtime animatronics. Once he did, the animatronics jumped to life. The experiment had worked. William Afton unlocked the power of life itself. After his successful experiment, he went back to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to collect his old Spring Bonnie suit. But Once he got there, he was met with the spirits of the 5 missing children, trapping him inside the safe room. Cassidy, the spirit inside Golden Freddy, chased Afton around the room and forced him to get into the Spring Bonnie suit. Cassidy was the most vengeful spirit of them all. Being spring-locked in the Fredbear suit was a painful and slow death, and he wanted to make sure that Afton knew what that felt like. At this point, Afton knew how a spirit could live on. As long as he was inside the suit, he knew he'd be back.
Yes, hide in the suit. Suck on this. I'm a purple people eater in a suit. Oh, he spring trapped himself. Wait, did he know that was gonna happen? He's like, oh, I knew I would live on within the suit, so it's fine.
As Afton laughed, the spring locks snapped shut, forcing him to go through what Cassidy went through. This was an act of revenge by Cassidy, and it wouldn't be the last. Afton was now confined to the safe room of the now shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
He knew it happened,
this, everything in his underground bunker was left abandoned. But even with Afton gone, the rental business continued on its own. All of the Funtime animatronics containing the spirits of the missing children and even his daughter Elizabeth were still being rented out.
I was gonna say, maybe it carried on because Henry is still his business partner, but Henry, according to this video, didn't have anything to do with this line. So, like, who is this being managed by? I mean, I guess he would have managers, but, like, I don't know.
During the day and then brought right back down to the bunker. All the spirits wanted to do was escape, but they were always put back underground. After Afton went missing, his eldest son Michael, who's been blindly helping his father, remembered what his father told him if he ever went missing. If William wasn't there to finish his work, Michael would do it for him. Afton's underground facility was always off limits to Michael, but since he was now gone, Michael had no choice. He took the elevator down to where his father worked every day. Although Michael was helping out his father by stealing some of the endos from the animatronics back in the day, he never exactly knew what William was doing until he got down into the bunker.
No, thank you. I'd be like, what the frick? Especially if your dad was abusive, surely he's not going to take over the business.
Over the several days he visited the bunker, he learned more about what his father was up to. He learned about the massive facility his father built, complete with multiple rooms conducting fear experiments. He learned the truth behind the Funtime animatronics and how they were actually designed to kidnap kids. And he learned through the voice of Baby exactly how his sister died.
A little girl, standing by herself. My stomach opened, and there was ice cream. I couldn't move, at least not until she stepped closer.
But as the week went on, Baby was conducting a plan of her own. A plan to escape the bunker, using Michael's body. Elizabeth was no longer the person Michael remembered her as. She was entirely devoted to her father, and would do anything to make him proud of her. At the end of the week, all of the Funtime animatronics endos were scooped out, with all of them combining into one animatronic, called Ennard. This creature, containing the spirits of the missing kids and Elizabeth, knew they wouldn't be able to escape the bunker looking like an animatronic. They needed a human body to walk around in.
No, don't do it.
You are in the scooping room now. Funtime Foxy has already been here today.
No. No. They're not about to do what I'm thinking they're about to do. They're not gonna scoop out Michael and go inside of Michael as a skin suit, are they? Surely, that's not what they're gonna do. Right? Right? Kind of like VTuber. VTuber's like a skin suit, you know? And then, anyway, we're gonna continue.
Funtime Freddy has already been here today. Melora has already been here today. Circus Baby has already been here today.
Does Michael live on there too, his soul?
But they always put me back. They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here. There is nowhere to go.
Hot night jump.
Look like this. But if we looked like you,
yeah,
then we could hide. If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go.
Run.
The scooper only hurts for a moment.
No. No.
Michael Afton's insides got scooped out and replaced by Ennard, helping all of the souls to escape the facility. With every passing day after this happened, Michael looked more and more like a walking zombie. His skin was starting to turn purple, and people started to notice. Michael's body was—
Oh my god, he looks like his dad now! Wow, he really does look like his dad! Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Honestly, I don't think he deserved that. Like, all of that. Like, having such a manipulative dad, and then obviously you bullied, but like, you know, you knew your mistakes. And then he's just forced into helping his dad do like crazy stuff, and then being manipulated by his dad. And then he gets a sad ending, I guess. Like, all of these kids didn't really do anything wrong. It's just they're like the victims of their like crazy psychopathic father, you know? And which is really unfortunate. I don't think Michael deserved this. It's so sad. And then to feel like your last moments, and then you kind of know your sister is in there, and you're like, I don't know, it's kind of like not controversial, but like I guess you would feel torn because you're like, I die, maybe I deserve to die because I killed my younger brother, but also like this would be helping my sister, but like, is it really my sister? Like, my sister's been gone, and now I'm gonna die. You know, like, I don't know. It feels so torn because it's like all about your siblings. Like, this is your sibling talking to you in a way, but it's also like you would feel like, oh, maybe I deserve this, you know? Yeah.
His skin was starting to turn purple, and people started to notice. Michael's body was no longer a good disguise for Ennard, so Ennard ejected itself from Michael. But because the scooper was also a remnant injector, when Michael Afton was scooped, he was also injected with remnant. The remnant made it so even after Ennard was gone, he was still able to survive. With Michael now back in full control of his body, he had a new mission. Although
wouldn't he be like a wiggly jiggly skin dragging himself on the floor with his skin arms? That'd be so disgusting. That'd be so disgusting, and now he doesn't look human either. Wouldn't he eventually just rot away? Like, even if he's alive, he's just gonna rot. I hope he doesn't feel pain. Oh my god.
He did, one way or another, successfully free his sister from the underground facility. He also learned about all of his father's terrible misdeeds. His loyalty to his father turned to disgust. It was time for him to end all of this.
Yes.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it.
Why is he
It
British?
was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you.
Oh. Because they're both purple!
Found her. I put her back together. Just like you asked me to. She's free now.
I don't know if she's free, but okay.
But something is wrong with me. I should be dead.
Yeah, the British are
But
purple.
I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you.
Oh, and kill you.
I'm going to come find you.
Michael would spend years searching for his father with no luck, until a new ad in the local—
It took him years because he's dragging himself on the ground with his skin arms and hands. Like, just like a blanket. Like, you think it's a blanket from a distance, but when you get closer, it's just a pile of skin wearing pants. Yup. And it's purple.
Newspaper caught his attention. Someone decided to open something called Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction. Local amusement park is getting ready to scare your socks off with a new attraction based on the unsolved mysteries of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, featuring actual relics from the decades-old pizzeria.
Opening this?
This new attraction is guaranteed to bring back their childhood in the worst possible
William's
way.
gone.
As
Is this
if
Henry?
using the crimes of his father to make a profit wasn't bad enough,
Oh, okay. I understand now. Let me rewind. Years. Okay, I get it. He's the one
Ad
opening.
in the
Okay,
local newspaper caught his attention. Someone decided to open something called Fazbear's Fright.
No, someone decided to open. So, Michael saw this ad, and someone is using his dad's IP. Okay.
The horror attraction. Local amusement park is getting ready to scare your socks off with a new attraction based on the unsolved mysteries of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Featuring actual relics from the decades-old pizzeria, this new attraction is guaranteed to bring back your childhood in the worst possible way. As if using the crimes of his father to make a profit wasn't bad enough, they also went back to the old pizzerias and collected any objects they could find to put on display at the attraction. Michael immediately applied for the job of the security guard with the sole intention of burning the place to the ground. When he got there, he saw the remnants of his past. The shells of all of the animatronics, missing every single one of their endoskeletons. He knew they could only find the shells of the animatronics because he and his father stole their endoskeletons all those years ago, leaving only the shells behind. On day 2 of working at the attraction, he got word that they found a real animatronic.
You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
This real animatronic.
Who started this business? Was it the phone guy? He's like, man, I used to work as a phone guy at the other ones. I have connections. I'm gonna open it because I know what it's like. Like, who the frick opened this?
Animatronic ended up being his father, still inside the spring Bonnie suit he died in decades ago. Even though his father was now in the building with him, he still decided to go through on his plan, all in an effort to end his father once and for all. Michael then rigged the wiring in the building to catch fire, burning the horror attraction to the ground with his father inside.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. But like, he was working in order to do this, right? Like, he applied as a security guard. Let me make sure I'm correct, because he went back
to put on display at the attraction. Michael immediately applied for the job of the security guard.
He applied. So why did he work all the nights? Why wouldn't he just set fire the first night? Well, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna wait to work here 5 nights and then set fire to the place.
Stole their endoskeletons all those years ago, leaving only the shells behind. On day 2 of working at the attraction, he got word that they found a real animatronic.
Like, day 2, like, what is he looking for? Like, what is he waiting for? He's waiting for, like, his dad, like, to show up? Like, he's trying to find, like, what's his goal? Like, working all these nights. Just light fire the first night you're there. That's what you're there for. Why do you even gotta work there? Just set fire to the outside. Oh, but they might have security cameras. If it's in the old building, there's no security cameras outside because someone was freaking murdered by the security doll. So you don't have to worry about security cameras. Just light it on fire. Just saying. Just saying.
I'm gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
This real animatronic ended up being his father, still inside the spring Bonnie suit he died in decades ago. Even though his father was now in the building with him, he still decided to go through on his plan, all in an effort to end his father once and for all. Michael then rigged the wiring in the building to catch fire, burning the horror attraction to the ground with his father inside.
Run! I'm guessing he's alive because his soul's in there.
The local newspaper would write about the fire, saying a new local attraction based on an ancient pizzeria chain burned down overnight. Authorities have not ruled out foul play, but at the moment it seems to have been caused by faulty wiring.
Okay, flashback to the beginning of this reaction when we were talking about the Temu Freddies, the people that ripped off original Freddies, and how they're not as advanced because they're wired. And then someone's like, oh yeah, they could easily be set on fire. Well, these animatronics don't have wires, and yet, due to quote faulty wiring, still set on fire. Like, obviously, this is obviously not the real story, but kind of funny. Because if I'm an investigator, I'd be like, what wires? This isn't Temu Freddies. These guys aren't even wired. I mean, obviously, it's just like a, what is it? It's just like a cover up, but yeah, no, it's kind of funny. Yep.
Although the fire destroyed most of everything in the building, William, miraculously, was able to survive. William was now free, roaming the outside world along with the souls of the...
Is he survived because his soul's in there, or the magic in the suit, like the remnant or whatever, the cursed whatever, is keeping his body alive in the suit? The Cassidy who got crushed, and then their soul was, and then they died, and then their soul was put into the suits. But was the suit haunted before her soul was put into the suit? Or he, because I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, does it work with the same logic as Cassidy's? You know? That's... Springtrap was not injected with Remnant. His soul is trapped in the suit. Okay. So, I just want to make sure, does it follow the same logic as Cassidy's? If it didn't, I would call it out, because we got to keep it consistent here, guys. I mean, I get it's kind of hard with such a big franchise over so many years, but we got to keep it somehow consistent. Okay.
Missing children, Elizabeth, and Charlie inside the puppet. Since Michael wasn't able to end everything, someone else needed to step in. That someone was Henry Emily. Afton's old business partner and father of Charlie heard about the fire at Fazbear's Fright, along with the rumors of the various animatronic creatures now roaming the streets. Henry was determined to put an end to all of this.
Only now? He didn't want to put an end to it when he found out his business partner was killing children? He didn't find it suspicious as the engineer when his business partner decided to take up robotics and make, like one day? Especially since he's such a busy, overworked man, because they work together. So you know how overworked and like busy your partner is. Suddenly he's busy learning robotics within 2 years, so he must have been pretty freaking busy. And you don't find that suspicious? And then your daughter dies right after his son dies? And then his other kid dies? This isn't suspicious. And then he goes missing. And then his other kid dies. You're still not involved. Someone else opens up a franchise under your old IP, which you didn't give the rights to do, and you're still not looking into it. Henry, we need to talk. Henry, we need to talk, Henry. I hope it all comes full circle, but yeah. Psh. Okay, Henry.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create. As if what he had already done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough. The loss of innocence, the loss of everything to so many people. Small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose, and used in ways I never thought imaginable. He lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks. He brought them all together. Are they still aware? I hope not. It keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. A wound first inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this. He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing that they had again. I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines, but they will never find rest now, not like this. I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place.
By gathering all of the animatronics in one place and locking them
Wait. She looks a little different than before, guys. This is not how I remember her looking.
Same room, he would be able to burn them all to the ground.
Oh, he's gonna burn them.
Effectively freeing their spirits in the process. In order to do this, Henry created a new restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's.
The new Temu Freddy Fazbear, except it's actually owned by the IP and the other one's not. We love that.
Pizza place. He knew that the spirits and William couldn't resist coming back to a new location, even if it was all just a trap. Charlie was different though. She was smarter than the rest, so Henry knew she wouldn't be as easily fooled. So he created an animatronic called Lefty, standing for Lure, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, and Extract, specifically to capture the puppet and bring it to the pizzeria. While trying to find someone that would help him carry out his plan, one person showed up.
Stop, I knew it. I was like, it's gonna be Michael, right? The purple people eater!
Person who was also determined to finally end all of this, Michael Afton. Day after day, the animatronics roaming...
Imagine you are his, like, ex-business partner. His dead-looking son, who's literally purple, and a skin suit, comes up and says, hey, I'll work with you. Okay, all right, yep.
The streets would show up in the alleyway next to the pizzeria. Baby, aka Elizabeth, the souls of the missing children and the crying child, now appearing as Molten Freddy, Charlie and Lefty, and his father, William, all showed up in the back alley. Michael would then collect each animatronic and throw them into a facility under the pizzeria, designed to be a maze with no exit, where the animatronics would roam around without even knowing they're trapped, until the end of the week, where they would all be burned to the ground. With all of the souls, including William himself, now in one place, Henry's plan was in motion. As far as Elizabeth and William were concerned, this was a good thing. All of this remnant now in one place was all that they wanted, until Henry stepped in.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to. All of those little souls in one place, just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume.
Okay, wait, I'm just a little bit confused. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna start over the whole speech, but, my question is, when they scooped Michael out to hide inside of his body, and then they escaped, went out, they got a new body? Because, like, wouldn't they just be, like, a little skeleton? Like, how does this Elizabeth have, like, a big body again, a big animatronic body? They got a new one? Because then they have to go out of that, the old one, to go inside of Michael to, like, escape? So they explain it in the books. God dang it, go read the books. Frick, man. Okay. Well, it's explained somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to rewind the whole speech, and I'm gonna listen to it. Okay.
And be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then. So let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Henry putting fire to the animatronics may
Dang, that was a crazy speech. Oh my god, that was so good. Dude, props to Henry. Like, hey, I don't know where he was all these years, but man knows how to give a speech. Man knows how to be charismatic.
have freed the spirits from the metal of the robots, but some of them still needed help actually moving on into the afterlife. This help would come from Charlie. She helped guide the spirits into the robots. Now she would help them move on. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, the way a spirit can move on is by them being put into a happy memory. The memory Charlie chose actually comes from the crying child and the day he got bit. Piece by piece, Charlie put that terrible, shattered memory back together, but this time she would change it into a happy memory. Instead of the crying child getting bit on his birthday, Charlie changed it so that all of the missing kids and Charlie would celebrate him, giving him a giant birthday cake. By changing that terrible memory into a happy one and attaching all of the spirits to it, they were able to successfully pass into the afterlife.
Yippee! And then it's over, right? And then nothing else happened, right? And nothing else went wrong, right? Right? Surely. Surely. And then there's another game. And then another game came out.
Like I said, they were all able to move on.
Except for
one.
Yep. William! You, William? William! Shaking my fist in the air. William! He just needs to be
Cassidy,
contained.
the most vengeful spirit of them all, wasn't done yet. He decided to attach his soul to William's, making sure that William was unable to move on. By attaching his spirit to William's, he was able to trap...
So Cassidy didn't move on either. Cassidy was like, screw you, William. I'm not letting you move on. Grabbed his soul, shoved it back. You're not going anywhere, William!
Afton in an endless loop of death. He made Afton relive every one of his terrible misdeeds. The fear experiments, his underground bunker, and the pizzeria where Cassidy was killed. Afton experienced all of this while being attacked and killed over and over again by all of the animatronics from his past. Every time an animatronic would attack him, Cassidy would be there, reminding him that the suffering will never end.
We've only just begun. I will never let you leave. I will never let you rest.
He tried to release
chat.
He tried to release us, but I'm not gonna let that happen. I will hold you here. I will keep you here, no matter how many times they burn us.
Cassidy knew that Afton didn't deserve the afterlife. He deserved to pay for what he's done for all of eternity. But if you keep up with the franchise, you know that that's not the end of the story. Like I said at the beginning of the video, making a FNAF timeline is not easy, no matter what anyone says. In broad strokes, you can explain the basic plot, but once you get down to the motivations and the why of everything, you have to start filling in the blanks yourself. Some people who've helped me fill in the blanks that I'd like to shout out are Right Host for his theory about Cassidy being spring-locked in Golden Freddy. I think that makes a lot of sense and is really satisfying for the narrative. Also, I'd like to shout out MattPat for his theory about Midnight Motorist. After trying to figure that minigame out for years, I think your explanation makes the most sense. It's important for me to say that no one except for Scott Cawthon himself knows the exact story he was trying to tell. So please make sure to watch other people's timelines as well and come to your own conclusion on everything. And when the time is right, I'll be back to tackle the newer games in this franchise. Until then, make sure to subscribe and thanks for watching.
Maybe he didn't even know what he's written. Maybe even he doesn't know what he's written. The freak did I just watch? Oh my god, what just happened? Why are his kids British? I shouldn't be hung up on that. It's a joke. It's a joke. Okay, and that is it for the FNAF timeline by Fuhnuff. And if you disagree with anything that happened here, or you think there's a better video timeline that I should watch, or any other FNAF recommendations, please go ahead and let me know. If you liked watching this video and want to watch other videos with me live, you can, because I live stream them over on Twitch. And that is it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!